You know, one thing I think we need to kind of pay attention to here, the 88 car, he's been lingering around back in the pack back here. We haven't said a word about him. But I want to tell you something. Bat back and Ricky Rudd, Todd Parrott and Dale Jarrett, Robert Yates, that whole crowd, maybe they learned a lesson last year, Mike. Maybe last year they peaked too early. Last year they were championship contenders. This year, they've gotten off to a slow start, but maybe they're going to come on strong at the end of the year. But I wouldn't take my eye off of Jarrett if I were you. I've seen him do this time and time again, haven't you, Mike? Haven't you, Larry?
And here he sits in 24th place. But you're right, Darrell. The important thing is he's on the lead lap. I want to say hello to Dale's dad, two-time Winston Cup champ Ned Jarrett. Had to go in for some rather emergency heart surgery, but everything is okay. And Ned's home resting. Wish he could be at the racetrack with us today.
This is some ice packs. You heard them talking about getting them ready for Jeff Gordon. And what a lot of times they'll do, Darrell, is kind of stick them down.
Trouble turn one. A car cuts down a tire and hits the wall. It's Ward Burton.
Caution is on the speedway.
Well, Ward has just had a miserable night. He just couldn't. He had trouble in the pits, had trouble in the car, now he hits the wall.
Nobody's really getting their lap back. Ricky Rudd takes the caution flag.
That's a hard hit for Ward Burton.
Oh, yeah, when you see that right front stoved up under the firewall like that, that's a hard lick.
Their team tested up at Thompson, Connecticut this week with multiple Busch North and modified champ Mike Stefanik driving, helping crew chief Tommy Baldwin with some experimental setups. There were a lot of sparks under Ward's car before it got to the wall, Darrell. From it looked, I would guess the right front, but I'm guessing.
Yeah, he probably cut a tire down. We'll take a look at it here, and we'll see what we can see what happened. Yeah, well, that's pretty indicative of a right front tire. Plus, you can see the fender over there was already blown up as he went down into the corner. So tire come apart.
And they are saying that he did blow a tire, and he was 52 laps down. He was just out there trying to make laps after losing that cylinder early in the race.
Hey, we've had a lot of great racing on the track, but you know what? This thing's going to turn into a pit crew race before the night's over with.
The best pit stop times of the night have been Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth, as they will trail leader Ricky Rudd onto pit road.
See, our Fox tracks will follow Ricky Rudd, 28. He'll peel off. Jimmy Johnson, the 48. Remember, he'll come all the way to the end of pit road. And Matt Kenseth with that World Championship pit crew that gets him out first almost every stop. Dick Berger.
They're going to put 4 tires in it, 2 cans of fuel, put a round and a quarter of wedge in the left rear to try to tighten the automobile up. Kenseth fast on the racetrack. The crew fast on pit road. To Steve Burns.
Dick, Ricky Rudd in. Crew chief Michael Fatback McSwain said, tell me about your car. He said, just slap those tires on and make sure my windshield is clean. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Jimmy Johnson's car was a little bit goofy loose on entry into 3 as Matt Kenseth will get beat off here by the 28. Jimmy Johnson will try to get him. It's going to be close. They made a wedge adjustment. Ricky Rudd's going to get him.
When the car runs better, the driver performs better, everything goes better. The pit crew does a better job when you run up front.
The whole package pumps everybody up.
Here's the race off of pit road. Johnson has that preferred position,
this
but
is the line right here.
Speed. So you saw Rudd beating him with Kenseth coming off pit road third. And Ricky Rudd's crew gets to do a little bit of celebrating. Long way to go. We're 1/3 distance on NASCAR's longest night. The Coca-Cola Racing Family 600.
Young guns.
The Coca-Cola Racing Family 600 on Fox is brought to you by Lowe's, now featuring the new Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon credit cards. By Ford, No Boundaries. By Old Spice, the deodorant of NASCAR. And by Viagra. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Don't tell him what'll happen.
It's worth a shot. Welcome back to Lowe's Motor Speedway. We're under caution for Ward Burton's crash in turn number 1. You see Race Cakes in Mooresville, North Carolina has brought us that. So we're going to show you what happened here to Ward Burton's crash. He hit the wall with the right front
and lost it.
And away
that
it went.
Work.
So,
blew the right front tire and the right front is gone.
But
look at that. You tore up my boogity boogity.
Oh, no.
No, man, that was a nice piece, too. And look what you've done to it.
I want the first B. All right, we're going to enjoy a little cake up here. A lot's been happening down on pit road as we show you Ward Burton's car.
And
it looks just about like I showed you.
It's a piece of cake.
Ward is okay. He climbed out of the car, and he was all right.
But the race on pit road, it continues as it has all night long. Once again, look, Jimmy Johnson, those guys had the bad stop last time. Rudd, Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth's crew, all doing their work. But Tony Stewart, Jeff, a little bit quicker, moves up to 5th. Jeff Hammond, we hear a lot of guys making these adjustments, especially with the rear track bar. Let's show them what it's about.
Yeah, let's do that, Larry. Let's talk about this right now, because this is one of the easier things to do. First, we got the wedge bolt right there. This is the track bar. This is what it does. It affects the rear roll center of the car. The guys can go up and down, but being loose today, most of the guys are cranking the track bar down 1 or 2 turns. It's pretty simple to do, and it's very effective trying to get the car off the corner where a lot of these guys are having problems.
And 1 turn is equal to about a 1/4 inch, so 2 turns would be a 1/2 inch.
And the thing is, Larry, we're here to talk about it later on in the night, because they'll probably start coming back up with it to make the car go back and turn better as the track starts to cool down and gets a little more grip. They'll want to free it up to get it off the corner as the race progresses.
Yeah, and I'm glad y'all explained that, because I was tired of people asking me how come we went to the track bar all the time.
Well, Darrell?
Well, they heard about happy hour, you know, and they said, what's up with you guys?
Mike, let's let them hear what 35,000 horsepower sounds like. What do you think?
Oh, you just want another piece of cake.
Oh, yeah, we'll eat that right front.
Okay. We'll let you folks crank it up while we do. Set for the restart.
Ready? Green flag, green flag.
Could have been trouble right there. I can't believe they made that work right there. But Ricky Rudd was down the inside, that 4 car up in the middle of them. I thought Jimmy Johnson was going to be the cake, the rock between 2 hard places.
But, Darrell, that's the worst.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Boy, they stack up behind him. Everybody has to check up and get on the brakes. But reason that trouble down there, we've talked about it all night long. You can run 3 wide through 3 and 4, but then you come on that straightaway, and it's like running into a funnel. It's only 1 lane wide there on the exit of turn 4.
Well, what this is telling me is this track is getting a little bit more grip to it. More and more grip. Guys are getting a little braver, getting a little bolder, but it's still a long way to go. And those moves are dangerous. I mean, you take your car right out of the race beating it up like that.
I think that second one might have been a little, I wasn't very happy with that last.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was. I mean, that's retaliation, minor retaliation. Just watch all this action. Here they are, 3 wide. This is just not a good time to be 3 wide because the guy on the bottom, look at him, he pushed loose. Fortunately, Rudd had a great run, and he was able to clear those guys, or there would have been a wreck right there.
And Mike Skinner in the 4 car, he's up there trying feverishly to get that lap back, get back on the lead lap.
Well, that's what that's what you hate. You're leading the race, got a good race car, but you got a guy up there that's wanting to get back on the lead lap, and he'll take more chances than you really want to.
Back in the pack, trouble. Harvick climbs the hill, and that stacks up cars behind him. No crash, but oh my gosh.
That's not trouble. He's been up there all night long like that, Mike. That car is just not handling it all.
All those cars around him, and the Sadler brothers made incidental side-to-side contact. You're riding with Tony Stewart. Right behind him is Ricky Craven. They are in 7th and 9th positions with Jeff Gordon alongside. Here's Steve Burns.
Mike, just prior to the pit stop, Tony Stewart described his car as getting very free or loose. They cleaned the front grill off, changed 4 tires, and put 1.5 rounds of wedge in the right rear. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Steve, back on lap 103, the Budweiser guys had their worst stop of the day, a 16.86 second stop. They shoveled the air pressure, trying to help Dale Jr.'s tight in the middle and loose on exit. They seem to have done that. He says now the overall grip is good. Subtle air pressure adjustments have helped. Now they're just trying to learn what to do for this race car for later on in the night. He came in 5th, went out 4th. Now he is 3rd. To Steve Burns.
Well, to Dick Berggren anyway. Rusty Wallace last week had a huge crash head-on. He said it was the worst head-on accident he had ever had. Injured his toes. Bad wreck. They wanted to bring that car to this race. They couldn't because it was too damaged. It's a new car. It's running well, but it's overheating. Non-stop overheating. Every time he pits, they have to pump water in it. There's a leak somewhere in the system. Rusty Wallace crew can't find it. Mike Joy.
Yes, he had worked his way into almost the top 10. That last caution came out. They were on pit road, put more water in it.
Boy, Skinner has just got his hand. He's up there trying to get a lap back, and I think he just got got himself out of position, and everybody's going by him. I think he's getting real frustrated. He's taking a lot of chances.
Watch the 4 car here.
Man, it takes off right here with him. It's just not handling. And he's up in there trying to get that lap back, and he can get himself and a lot of people in trouble if he's not careful. Obviously, he's not being careful.
You know, Darrell, even though this racetrack is wide, a lot of grooves, it's very mark sensitive. We talk about hitting your marks. If you miss your mark just a little bit, the car just take off with you.
Darrell, what I'm seeing right now is a lot of glare off the cars. The sun's getting low in the sky. And you folks know what that's like on your evening commute, but what's it like in that race?
Right where those cars are right now, Mike, in the third turn, as they turn into the turn, they're looking straight into, you see that sun over the top of the grandstand? For the next little bit here, they're going to be looking right straight into the sun.
And what these drivers had to do, they had to start with a clear shield because it'll be dark later on.
I don't need no glasses to see these guys beating each other all to pieces right now.
Schrader and his teammate Nadu just got together.
One inside,
side
one
to side.
inside.
There you see that sunlight down in 3.
All right, here they come down the back. Now, you see how the sun is shining on the billboards up on the right side there? When the car turns about right there, he's looking straight. See that sun over the top of the grandstand back there? It blinds you just for a moment.
Inside.
Back up front, Ricky Rudd, NASCAR's new Iron Man. 1 second up on Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kurt Busch, and Matt Kenseth.
Guess what? The sun's going down, and we got a full moon tonight.
And usually at racetracks, a full moon night race, oh, that's calamity written all over it. Terry Labonte passes the torch to Ricky Rudd, NASCAR's new Ironman, 656 consecutive starts, 21 years without missing a race in NASCAR Wins and Cup. Ricky Rudd is our Ford, no boundaries hero for today, and he is the race leader at 152 laps.
Oh, and he's way out front and actually pulling away a little bit every lap.
Spencer off the pace. Darrell, excuse me, Spencer off the pace in the back straightaway.
Yes, sir, he is. Also, there's another car
Frank
down
Kimmel
behind him. Is that Kimmel?
Or is it Elliott? It's Elliott Sadler.
Oh,
Jimmy
Sadler,
Spencer
yeah,
had
he's
worked his way up to 13th position after starting way back in the field. This is a backup car he wrecked in practice on Thursday before qualifying.
But guys, I tell you, Ricky Rudd tonight is on fire. That new paint job right there is getting the job done.
While we were away, Elliott Sadler made a pit stop under green. Steve Burns, what was the problem?
Mike Elliott came in on lap 149. The hood went up. They wanted to make sure that all the plug wires were attached. They were. It's an engine-related problem. Elliott said, I'm just going to run it till it blows.
Started on the outside pole. Great qualifying run here on Thursday.
That's got Roush power under the hood. So, you know, a couple of Roush motors last week. Mark Martin's gave trouble. I tell you, boy, I'd be worried to death. I mean, if I was a motor man, I'd be over there hiding in the bathroom. 700+ miles on these engines. That's a lot of racing miles.
Riding with Robbie Gordon, racing for Richard Childress, finished 8th in the Indy 500, starting 11th, started 12th here, but he had to begin this race at the tail end of the field.
Everything's looking good, Robbie.
For missing the driver's meeting, he is up to 13th. Here's Steve.
Mike, he is up to 13th, but he's also complaining that he has cramps under his left rib cage. He's asked for more padding to be added to the seat on the next stop, which would be costly. They'd lose time if they had to do that.
Second time he has done the Memorial Day double. The Indy 500 and Coke
Mike,
600.
You can't, 600 miles here, 4.5 hours.